The brains in this one, I'm just checking.
Well, that makes me the beauty. So that's
okay,
a perfect
wait a minute. We're going to talk about art. We're going to talk about why art. We're going to talk about the want of art. We're going to talk about why we want to make art and why people want to make art.
There's just something you do. The way you hold me close, I just don't want to move.
So I'm a big fan of alliteration, and I wanted to do Harleys and Hairspray. Story. There's 3 S's. No, succulent is not one of the
Succulent
S.
is not one of the
No, that's a
S's?
treat S. That's a gift S. That's not one of the 3. It's like Christmas all over. This is all foreplay waiting to turn into something bigger and better.
Let me tell you about Dr. T. From Mad Love Music. He's a songwriter, producer, and ex-music prof. You can find him at Mad Space Love Space Music, and that's you, Dr. T. Makes me think about teeth. Or maybe my name, Tina. You a doctor of me? You're on.
TinaO. Not just TinaO. TinaO Life. She's a super cool human first and foremost. But she's also a writer. She's a speaker. She's a performer. She's a chaser and keeper of stories. And together, a podcast called Harleys
And Hairspray.
What are we doing here?
We're going to talk about art.
Yes.
We're going to talk about why art.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the want of art. We're going to talk about why we want to make art and why people want to make art.
Okay, so this...
Am I the brains in this one? I'm just checking.
Well, that makes me the beauty. So that's
okay,
a perfect...
wait a minute.
I didn't want to go in that direction because I don't think that's a great balance of power. I think you're both the brains and the beauty.
Okay, that was a good start. I'll give you that. Well done.
Thank you. Initially, I wanted to bring you a different concept for a podcast.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
wanted to do... So I'm a big fan of alliteration, and I wanted to do Harleys and Hairspray. We could talk about Harleys, and of course, what is the perfect companionship for Harleys? Hairspray.
Hairspray.
Yeah, because
Handbags too, and a big handbag with big hair.
Yeah, the dilemma is on the highway.
Oh,
The handbag.
Hello.
But if you have a helmet, this is the H podcast.
You're much happier.
Much happier. Heaven help us. So this is the H podcast. Oh, do you remember Sesame Street?
Do I? You want to buy a letter L?
No.
H. You want to buy a little letter H?
Actually, you're on my wavelength because I think this episode should be brought to us by the letter S.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why. Because I thought, let's separate this, because this discussion could be endless, right? So
Well, it's you and me.
It's you and I, and which was the more appropriate English? Was it you and me or you and I? Anyway, letter S. Let me break it down for you. I thought of this in... Well, first of all, the letter S it has a curvature to it. No, that's not how I want to break it down to you. I'm thinking of it like this. One
Oh,
S,
I know you're thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it right now, heavily. I'm deep in thought. Okay, first S. I'm going to give you 3 S's. Okay, 3
Not guesses, but S's?
S's.
Very good.
The first S, story.
Story.
Second S. Each one is going to lead to a great, succulent conversation.
Oh.
Something onomatopoeic about that word? Yes?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
When you say it like that.
Succulent.
Succulent.
Sorry, I was going to say, and it won't suck.
What would the...
Okay. The second S. Okay, so the first
Third
one's
S.
story. There's 3 S's. No, succulent is not one of the
Succulent
S's.
is not one of the
No, that's a
S's?
treat S. That's a gift S.
It's a gift
That's not
S.
one of the 3. It's like Christmas all over
We got a
again.
gift S?
We have a gift S. The second S is service.
Beautiful.
As in service of or in service to. Service.
Beautiful.
Third S,
Okay.
struggle.
Ooh.
Right? Those 3 S's, I think, are the very essence of our conversation. So I love everything you
Story,
said.
Service.
Struggle. Which will then lead to a succulent conversation.
About the wanting of art.
Yes. So we were chatting in another time and place, in another dimension about why do we create? And you said, you stumbled over this great concept.
I did?
Yeah, you said because we want to.
Because we want to.
Yeah, see, if I would have said it, it would have sounded like I'm coming up with that notion. But
Oh.
you, in fact, stumbled over the fact that you want to.
Yeah.
You crave. And then we started talking about, well, what is it like to crave? Like, what's a craving?
Yeah.
And it's indescribable. And it's different, I think, for every human being.
I would imagine so, because it puts us in motion. And we all move from different centers.
And isn't it amazing that we can't, as the human condition, we as humans cannot stay static. That is death. So motion is the key element, which makes this an S&M conversation. And you have an
Of
S
course it
and you have an
does.
M.
Oh my
S&M.
gosh.
Why didn't I think of that?
I have no idea, but clearly it was like right there.
Okay, so if you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to have to log into your account because now that we've brought up S&M,
Oh,
it's going to be
no!
adult
What
restricted.
did you do?
18 and over, so we'll keep it clean.
Ugh.
Okay, so when I bring up the topic of story,
Yes.
what comes to mind?
Are you kidding me?
No.
I'm all about story.
What?
Oh yeah.
Tell me more.
Good setup, sir. Very good. So to me, story is everything. Story is the pulse of us. Story is our footsteps. Story is our ancestry. Story is it's our heartbeat. It's our children. It's what happens right here.
You realize you're coming alive as you're telling me this?
Boy,
Completely.
could I get any more alive?
You're very alive. Please, yes,
Oh, all right.
yes.
Well, let's keep. Okay, so it's actually this. It's this. It's chemistry. It's the space between people. It's the intangible that feels tangible in your body. It's scent. It's all the things. It's all of your senses. And story, from a linear perspective, is when you put words on that impulse. But story is not the words. It's the impulse itself.
That's gorgeous. You know what I got from that? When you said the space is in between, because as a musician, so maybe you should tell us how you approach story from your discipline, because clearly I'm a songwriter.
Okay.
Clearly, because I said as a musician.
Yeah.
So maybe folks should get to know a little bit about your path towards story.
Oy, oy, oy.
Okay, well, just think about it. I'm gonna
I got it.
stall on your behalf.
Okay.
Because as a musician,
Yeah.
I define music as organized sound and silence. You were talking about the spaces in between. Music, if it was just sound, it would just be a run-on bit of noise. But organized sound and silence gives it a sense of shape and a sense of intentional shape and meaning and a way to digest things when we hear them. And in fact, in nature, everywhere it's organized sound and silence constantly. And so that we have a symphony around us everywhere. All you have to do is tune in. So I'm interested about your approach to story as a wordsmith, because I try to not work with words.
Ooh.
Well, I just find it too limiting. I'm sorry.
Love that.
It's just there's the limitation of an agreed upon definition.
Yeah,
I feel a little starchy.
Yeah.
I'm
a little starch. You're an angry genius.
I'm an angry genius who doesn't like to be. I like the sound of a box breaking when you break out of it.
Oh,
or
good.
what does the sound boxes make when you? Yeah. Which is a great thing that a wonderful songwriter Claude Kelly used to say. Who's behind? Look up Claude Kelly. He's behind many, many good things. Anyway, wordsmith.
Okay.
Go.
Wordsmith. Well, for me, it's not about wordsmithing at all, because wordsmithing connects to the word clever. And clever is one of those things that when I work with people, I'm like, as soon as clever enters the room, you're already screwed. The story's out. As soon as you're clevering it up, you're actually off the story. So to me, when I work in whatever it is I'm doing, if I'm writing something, if I'm working with someone who's writing something, whatever it is, it's the mystery. Everything about story is the mystery. And the great thing about mystery is that it's not a thriller, and it's not a rom-com, and it's not a drama. The mystery is one of those things, right? What is it? Reggie? Right? The mystery machine? Come on, Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
Oh, I know.
Okay. So,
I didn't want to stop your flow.
Okay.
But I have a shaggy van at home parked as we speak.
You have a shaggy van?
It's more shaggy inside than on the outside. Lots of carpet.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so sorry.
Okay, back
mystery.
Back to mystery. Okay.
This is why I didn't want to interrupt.
Here's what the thing is about mystery. That at the end of a mystery, nobody turns around and goes, oh my God, I can't take it. They go, what happens next? At the end of a mystery, everything that was already there just is revealed.
Right.
And so tracking a mystery when you're writing a story is walking into the unknown, trusting that it's actually already known. Your job is just to stay curious and follow the clues. You can't get in front of it. You have to stay on it. So it's literally writing the words as they show up, and you'll know if they're a clue because I use the word shimmer. It's like the words just literally shimmer like the ocean. I will see like a word will just shimmer. And if you're wordsmithing, you're going to miss the shimmer. I will eat words. I will say words. I will roll them around in my mouth. And I'm like, oh, that's the word.
So is your head a noisy place most of the time?
Because
mine is constantly noisy.
I don't know that I can answer that, but if you ask one of my friends, I'm sure they'd say yes.
And you know why story intrigues me so much? Because it has everything to do with who we are. Whether you write, whether you compose, whether you sculpt, whether you're the best comedians are storytellers. When you look at Dave Chappelle, when you look at Seinfeld or Chris Rock, they engage you with the most amazing average stories of average everyday people doing average everyday things, but they make you look at what's ludicrous in the everyday. And because we are all hanging on to the thread of story that we can all relate to, those great storytellers are able to change our perspective and make us look at our own stories in a unique and a ludicrous and a comical, satirical way. And so story is everything. I mean, it's the, again, we discussed this in another time and place, but this notion of the oral tradition, right? For so many cultures and so many religions and the indigenous people, the Jewish people, and so many others. And the idea of passing the torch generationally. Story is a generational weave. And we do it through music, we do it through the spoken word, we do it through carvings on walls. But story is humanity. Don't you think?
I'm just actually eating your words.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think the other piece about oral storytelling that's different maybe than comedy is it's not rehearsed around how it's received. It's literally this happened and this happened and this happened, and there's pauses in between. And it's not repeated word for word like a script would be. Right. It's repeated based on likely how it affected somebody. It's like if I told you a story and then you told it to someone, you're not going to use my words.
No.
You're going to use the words that you might remember, a word that like grabbed you, but more than anything, you're going to use the words that are in your body.
I'm going to use
your body.
my take on your story.
Yeah.
Which has a deep internal resonance to me.
Yeah.
And every human will do that through this kind of ongoing broken telephone sequence, if you will.
Yeah.
But
okay. I want to just
go
sidebar because I want to not sidebar. I want to throw it back at you for a sec.
This is just the first test, by the way.
The first test?
S.
S. I know.
This is
There's
only the
still
first
two
more S's.
I need to ask you about music and story. Tell me about music and story.
I don't even know where to begin because none of it is concrete. Because if I play you a particular soundscape on the piano, it might mean one thing to you.
Yeah.
Depending on your mood and your headspace, etc. The weather outside, it might mean an entirely different thing to me. I think music is so individual and so indescribable. It really is, if you think about it, I think music is our most instinctive and most visceral storytelling vessel, right? Because our heartbeat and our mother's heartbeat that we hear in the womb is the first notion of forward-moving rhythm. And then we hear a song or we hear ourselves cry, and all of a sudden we have melody over a propulsive beat, over a rhythm. So before we even learn what a letter is, how to put a letter together with another letter, sentence structure, syntax, we're already musicians.
Wow.
We are musical by nature before we are born. Before we enter life, we hear music. We hear melody and we hear rhythm. And harmony, of course, is several melodies combined to
Yes.
create chords, right?
Yes.
So harmony is birthed out of melodies stacked,
Yes.
essentially.
Yes.
So if you think of it like that, and if you think about what the pillars of music are, which are really harmony, melody, in no particular order, harmony, melody, rhythm, and form, organized in some fashion,
Yes.
right? Very much like any story would be. We're born with all of that. The form is the beat moves us forward. There's only one way to go. It's ongoing. It's the sound of life. The melody is our connection to our mother,
Yeah.
and it's our connection to ourselves when we hear ourselves cry. It's the very thing that says, I am here.
Yeah.
I belong. I exist.
Yes.
Like it validates your very existence, your own cries.
Okay,
right?
so now you're coming alive. You see that?
No, I don't see it. I
know.
But I'm
I
so
can
glad
see
you
it.
stopped. But that's what's so incredible to me, because I think we're much more inherently musical as storytellers than in any other form.
Okay, wait. Just like hold the phone for a second.
Because
no,
it's
keep
number
going.
one.
I'm not, and I am not going to argue with
No,
you
no,
at
it's-
all. I love that you said that we are musically inherent storytellers.
Yes.
Okay.
Each
And
one of us.
How many people do you know that say, "Oh, I can't sing, I can't this, I can't that. Music, I don't do music, I can't do music." They pick up a shaker and they're like, they're super self-conscious just shaking a fucking shaker. Like,
The saddest.
but interesting.
The saddest.
What is that?
They're not in tune with the truth. They're not in
They're
tune.
not in tune with the truth.
I didn't even plan on saying that. They're not in tune with the truth. Because the truth is, we
See,
are
that's
all
you on story and not clevering. Just saying.
Love that. Well, you've just been validated. Your perspective holds a lot of weight. But I think the insecurity that we all feel at some point or another, sharing our story with others, sharing our music, our compositions, our creativity with others, that insecurity of being less than clouds the very truth of who we are. And that's such a disservice to humanity. I mean, how dare you overlook who you were born to be? You were born to be a musical communicator, a musical storyteller, and you let that great gift go because some portion of life has jaded you or scarred you a little bit into insecurity? How dare you? How dare
Oh!
you? That is inexcusable that you let go of the magic to take on insecurity. Let me say that again. It's inexcusable that you let go of your own personal inherent magic that everyone's born with, and you trade it in to nurture and walk around with insecurity.
Huh.
That is insanity to me. It's insane. So yeah, I hear that a lot, but it's very fixable, but the numbers are so great of people that have done that awful trade of magic for insecurity that
Oh my God! Just say
No-
that. Say that again.
no one man can fix the mass numbers of problem holders out there. The people that have traded in their inherent magic for insecurity. It's not a fair trade.
Oh,
That's not a fair
the
trade.
people who have traded their magic for insecurity.
Would you
Holy
make that trade?
Dinah. I have made that trade and I've traded back.
Boom.
So I know that feeling.
Michael Jordan went to play baseball. Bad trade. Came back to basketball.
Yes.
Good trade. You did the Michael Jordan. But you have to be aware. You absolutely have to be aware of the value that we're born with such a value. You said something about story, that it's all there. We're just waiting to have it unfold before us and
Yeah.
discover it. But isn't that who we are? We're born with all the capacity that we need to survive and thrive.
Yes.
And as we live life and go throughout our journey, all of these things all become epiphanies. All of these lessons and chapters become epiphanies that illuminate our capacity, right?
Yeah.
Which is exactly, so one is a macrocosm, one is a microcosm. That's exactly what you said story is, or,
Yeah.
or story should be. But that's who we are. So whether it's musically generated and
Yeah.
catalyzed, or whether it's verbally generated or catalyzed, we can't neglect the fact or negate the fact that we are story. Like our DNA.
We are story.
We
We
are
are story.
We are story. We should start a brand new acronym. Was We Are Story.
Hmm.
What? Remember the producer was not was? No, it was a band. Walk Like a Dinosaur. Anyway, the band was called Was Not Was. I thought that was a
Yes.
brilliant name. And one of the musicians was also the producer. His name was Don Was, who was behind many great records. All of a sudden, I'm name dropping a lot of producers.
Well,
here.
you keep information though. It's good. Tink, 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 tink,
Yeah,
tink,
yeah.
tink. You just drop them. Okay. What is that thing again? When you turn the words around.
Oh, palindrome.
Okay. So what's was?
Saw.
Yeah. So to me, that's I see you. You were
Oh.
seen.
Yeah. The palindrome.
The palindrome.
Love Don't you think the palindrome should itself be a palindrome?
It should. That would be very clever.
Like a palinlinap or something? It should
Palin it up.
so that it's backwards and forwards.
Yeah, because that would just be bad. Just I'm not even going to try to say it backwards. Palindrome. No. No. Not. No.
and
Let's go to
it's too
service.
long.
That would not be of service to you. So let's.
So
go to
for
service.
the one viewer and listener that we have, I hope you're out there somewhere enjoying. A palindrome is a word that is read.
I just want to make
backwards-
sure we're recording because this doesn't look. Oh, we are. Okay, good.
backwards and forwards the same way, like madam, a madam, or race car, or wow, or poop. All palindromes.
All palindromes.
All from the highbrow to
A little bit of service to you. A little bit
You can-
palindrome. It's
no-
not just a ride at the fair.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Wouldn't that be good?
That would be amazing. Sorry, I'm trying to imagine what that would look like.
He's a total palindrome dork. Like you just need to know it's part of it's just in him in a good way.
No, it's only because it was a great drinking game for me when I was in college. So you come up with a
Come
palindrome.
on,
I
really?
would get so
would win.
drunk. Oh,
You
I
would lose?
Well, no, I would drink along with the people that were losing, and everybody would get drunk.
Okay.
But of course, I would win because I'm a palindrome dork.
Yeah, you
apparently.
are.
Second S. Do you
Okay.
remember what it was?
Service.
Service. Can I ask
Are you testing me?
No,
Come on.
I was trying to get you to remind me what my second S was, actually.
Service.
Service, okay.
Okay.
Service came to me because I realized that I don't matter when I'm crafting music. And when I say I mean the ego part of I.
Okay.
I don't matter. I'm in service
Okay.
of my craft.
Yes.
And I'm there to make the best piece of music possible, the best creation possible. I'm in service of my craft. But if we go a little beyond the word service, what is it that compels me to be in service? What is it that compels you to be in service of your craft? Why the heck are we doing this?
Okay, I'm going to answer this, but I
Yeah.
want you to check and make sure we're still recording because your phone rang. Oh, yeah, we're good. Okay, good.
Yeah, there you go.
So what compels me to be in service?
We do our own tech here, don't we?
We do.
Actually,
and thank you
you're-
for serving my neuroses.
No problem.
I can get a little neurotic around tech.
No, listen, I came up in a Jewish family. I appreciate neuroses. So,
Okay,
let's-
what
service.
drives me to serve? Oy la 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 la.
What compels you to do what you do in the arts? And do you know why we're having this conversation? Because as an artist, you function alone so much of the time. There are so many of you, good thing we only have one listener, there's so many of you that work in bubbles. And you're not alone, you're not alone.
No.
I'm in a bubble, she's in a bubble, you're in a bubble. But together, we're a bubble machine. It's just like, and together we're a party that moves a party forward. Without a bubble machine, do you know how boring a party would be? So although we're all individual bubbles, together, woohoo!
I want to say he's profound, but then I would really be clevering it up.
Thank you. So
We're a bubble machine.
we're a bubble. So we're all in our bubbles.
Okay,
Enjoy
okay.
your bubble.
Yeah.
Because you add to the bubble machine.
And there's a piece of actually needing to be in the bubble sometimes we need to create.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay, service.
The bubble also helps you shut out the noise so you can focus.
Exactly.
The bubble is your private cubicle.
Yeah, and how many artists don't do that for
Oh,
themselves?
I despise cubicles. I don't know.
I
can't answer
can't. I
that
can't
question.
live in a box.
Yeah, but in a bubble.
But in a bubble, I
A bubble.
can bounce. Oh
Woo.
boy, we can go anywhere.
Bubbles.
Actually, kind of okay.
Speech
All right.
bubbles.
Okay, so back to deep and profound.
Service.
I'm service.
Why are you compelled?
Why am I compelled? Okay, so just come on out on the woo branches with me for a little bit. Woo, I'm gonna wobble a little bit.
Okay.
So I have this whole thing about we've been entrusted with something. We come into the world entrusted with something. It's our gifts, it's our whatevers. It's our gifts, the things that come easy to us. A question I ask everyone I work with is, what did you get for free? What's always
Hold
been
on.
easy for you?
Is what you got for free also your calling?
Potentially, I would say it's connected to your calling. It's that impulse. It's the story of your being, and you're entrusted with it. And that, you have choice. You don't have to serve it to the world, but those who do will feel that I have to keep going. I have to do this. I have to give this. This life that
What
we
did you get
have
for free?
is a gift.
That's great.
What did you get for free?
Well, my tragically good looks, clearly.
Clearly.
And a few other things.
What an angry genius. Did you come in the world an angry genius?
No, I built myself into one.
Oh, I just realized you're wearing your swag.
Oh, yeah, by the way, where can people find you on your socials?
Where's mine? I don't have a hat yet.
But you're not part of Mad Love Music, which is where you can find me on my socials and my
Oh.
digital streaming platforms if you're looking for what I do. Mad Love Music.
Did you see him pick up that cue?
Where can people find you?
TinaOLife.com.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
TinaOLife.com. On all social channels.
There you go.
I got the Instagram, TinaOLife. I got it all. Twitter.
I got the MySpace. I got the Friendster.
Oh, yeah.
I got it all from 1998.
99.
Oh, I was a
Ooh.
year before you. Sorry. So I understand.
Okay.
What did you get for free? I got it.
I got listening for free.
You got listening for free.
But it's not listening like you think about listening. Like, I have a really shitty memory. Like, I really do. You say stuff, I actually have to, like, hold on to things. So
Okay, you remember the second S.
yeah.
So good.
But I was
great.
like, service.
Yes.
Okay, but what I got for free is a sensory listening. And it's not, I have energetics in my life. People are like, okay, those people like actually read energy. I don't. It's not that. It's like, I hear this. I hear this space in between, which I think is what good art comes from, which I think is why I started writing poetry.
Mhm.
Poetry is where it began, because poetry is like listening from this whole other space. I don't even know how to describe it. So you know how I've said to you, I think last night you were asking me something, and I was like, well, it's just like I just get. Oh, I know what you asked. You asked, how does art happen for you?
Mm.
And I was like, well, usually it starts with a visual, or it's just kind of like a sound, but it's always this. It's a state of listening. So I got listening for free, and I got an extra plug. I'm like a spark plug. I'm a little bit like seriously, like, ding, I just plug me in. I literally wake up walking.
Do you know what plug backwards is? Gulp.
That's a good one. Yes, and most people do.
So you got an extra plug.
I got an extra plug. All plugged into source, I got two.
Wow. Well, I need to learn more. This is where I be quiet. This is where I shut my lips and listen.
I just keep going. I literally wake up. I wake up like this. That's what I was thinking. Or I wake up like this. Hey, you know what we could do? Or I wake up like this. I got it. This is this is it. So I got that for free.
But that is also the engine that compels you. Do you feel like you can't waste them if you got it for free? Can't waste them. You have to maximize the potential. For example, I feel like I can't not do it. I can't not do it. Why do I do it? I don't do it. I am it.
Yes, I understand that.
So why do I feel compelled to breathe? Because I am the breath of life. Why am I compelled to make music? I am it. It embodies me. It's far too vast for me to say I embody it, but it's everything that makes me. I breathe, I make music. My life is better for it. I got it, my love and my passion for it, and my moderate acumen is what I got for free, and I cannot waste it. I can't. It's the greatest joy, and because my head is noisy, I also have to perform daily exorcisms.
Right.
To get the devil out.
Which is music.
Yeah, but the devil is the passion. It's the magic. It's everything, right? But when I say exorcism, I think get the devil out. But really, it needs to be. it's an exhalation
Yes, I
of
totally
like
hear that.
you must exhale.
Oh, I have to sweat every day. If I don't sweat every day, I eventually I'm not very fun to be around.
Right.
Because whatever that is, that passion starts to like, it just vibrates too much on the inside and it has to come out.
So that's why you're compelled. There's no other way.
There's no other way.
Can you spell that for me?
L-L-A-L-A-M-N-N-L-L-L.
And a silent H? Or
Silent
silent P? I don't...
PK. I just want to come back to this word compelled too.
Yes.
Because it kind of is different than I just am. So, because I think sometimes, one, I think we can create a lot of pressure on ourselves that hold us back. When we say, well, I have to, or I'm wasting it. And at the same time, if I know if I don't create, I end up feeling off and jagged and not good. So I actually am compelled to create, because if I don't, I'm not a happy person. Am I compelled to serve? That's a big question.
But if you got it for free, then you are obligated to serve your gifts.
You're not obligated. You always have a choice, I think.
You are doing a disservice. Okay, if I give you a Christmas gift and you never ever use it, you are doing a disservice to my gift to you.
Ugh.
And so if nature gives you a gift and you don't use it,
I'm with you.
of
Yes.
course you have a choice,
Yes.
but not using it is...
There's a cost.
It's a soulfully criminal choice.
Wow.
There's a cost to your soul.
You're a very black and white dude on this one.
Black and white.
Yeah.
Soulfully criminal.
Soulfully Criminal. That's a good name for a band.
From the 90s, yeah.
Oh, it is one?
No, but it's like
Okay.
collective soul.
Oh.
Anytime you have two deep words together, that's a 90s band.
Gotcha.
Counting Crows.
That was my George and Gracie moment. I was the Gracie in that one. Was that a band?
Super bandy.
Okay.
Super angsty.
Super angsty.
Uh,
Okay, back to service. So here's my thing on service too,
Yes.
and on art, creatives, all of it. That I truly, truly, truly believe in my heart of hearts that when we live what we've been entrusted with. So if you're an artist, if you've been entrusted with a way you see the world, a vibration you give the world, as a story you tell, whatever it is, when you live that fully, when each of us lives our artistry in 100%, I actually truly believe that that's how the earth, all of us, humanity settles in. It's how we balance each other. It's not about healing, but it's how we come back to center. We got a whole bunch of people walking around on the planet doing shit they're not supposed to be doing.
not living holistically.
Yeah, not living their gift in full expression of it.
Don't you think that's another horrible way that folks have traded in their freebie or their treadmill?
Oh my God, I just love that. So what did you say? Traded their...
And their magic in for their insecurity.
Oh,
But what you're describing is...
that changes me. I just want you to know I love that so much.
take it, enjoy it. Let's share
That
it.
was service to me.
Thank you. I think so many people in a very pacified way, in a very benign way, trade in their gifts for the treadmill of expectation. Right? So one is
Okay. Oh my
trading
God,
in the
the
magic
treadmill.
to carry insecurity. That's malignant. That's a
Yes.
malignant problem.
Yes.
But a benign problem is trading in your freebies
Yes.
that the universe has blessed you with to take on the treadmill of societal expectation. Just day after day, stamping your to-do list,
Yep.
or your boxes, or just packaging the boxes. And that's not living. So whoever entrusted you with your freebies must be honored through reciprocation. You must reciprocate. That I'm utterly black and white on it.
You are.
Completely. There is no in between. You either repay the gifts or you're missing the point. And you're lowering your vibration. And because you're one in a society, You're lowering the society's vibrations. You're lowering everybody's GPA. That one course on your report card, that one bad course, is lowering the entire GPA of your report card. So don't.
Wow. I just wasn't someone who really digged school.
Yeah, I just think.
I don't even know what my GPA was.
Yeah.
I'm just like yanking on you.
Well, no, you're an artist who doesn't quantify.
Oh, I'm an artist who doesn't quantify.
Well, I think most artists don't quantify.
Like
Well, have you ever chased money?
No.
All right. Have you?
Right.
Right.
Okay, wait. I just want to.
No, it's right because of course it's common knowledge that artists don't change.
No, because they're compelled to make art.
Yes, you're not compelled to chase money. That's a whole different discipline, professional discipline.
Yeah.
I've never been driven by money. I have been driven by validation, by the way, which brings me to the third S, the struggle.
Wait, last thought. Here's
back to S2. Back it up.
Okay, another word I want to give us for service is medicine.
Back to the S&M motif.
Back to the S&M.
Medicine. Why medicine?
Service and medicine. Did we really just do that? Did we really connect S&M to service and medicine?
Sushi and martinis.
Okay.
So, which is,
okay.
It sounds like a party for somebody turning 39.
Good. Yeah, different band, right?
Different band.
Okay.
Why medicine?
Because, again, we've been entrusted with something beautiful.
By who, by the way? By
Whoever, whatever, not attached.
The spheres.
The artist in me doesn't, if I stuck that in a box, we'd all be fighting.
Okay. That's irrelevant.
Sorry?
The giver is irrelevant. The
giver,
name of the giver is irrelevant.
Stick that name in a box and the world all goes to shit.
I understand.
Wait a minute. Okay. So if we've been entrusted with this beauty, and it is beautiful, art is beautiful, that when we live it, we receive medicine.
I disagree with you. Not all art is beautiful, but good art provokes a reaction.
Good art? Do you have a hierarchy of art?
On one...
I'm going to be snob.
By good, I mean effective.
Okay.
Because...
Oh, I just touched your mic. Sorry.
Effective art is one that provokes a reaction on one extreme or another. There's never a middle of the road. That's not effective art. So, yeah, sorry, you were saying good. All art is beautiful. No.
Okay.
But good art is effective.
Okay. How about this?
We're going to have to arm wrestle over this one. I firmly believe in this too.
Yeah, well,
yes.
It's you.
Yes.
Black and white.
Black and white.
Right? You're a good listener, though.
I try.
You are a good listener. Boy, are you watching me just sort of like patronize you a little bit?
Well, no, it's because I'm so highly verbose that being a good listener seems counterintuitive.
Oh.
But go ahead.
Beauty. I'm going to fight for this word.
Yes.
Because the art that's in us is beautiful.
Yes.
When we stay true on that impulse, that story, going back to my work in the world, the mystery of this beautiful impulse, it is medicine. Living as an artist is medicine. And I'm not talking about the art we create. That happens. But living as that artist, in integrity with that artist, that's beautiful. And when I give it to somebody from that place, that's medicine. When you write a song and it okay, this sounds so dumb now. I was going to say, and it sings, ha 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 ha. But when you write
and it emotes,
it's like the thing that you were saying when everything lines up, and it transcends. That's beauty and that's medicine.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Right. I'm on board with that.
Okay.
I'm totally on
board.
That
got a pass?
I'm totally on board with that.
All right. I don't need to defend it anymore then.
No, it's just so hard to discuss the topic of art and beauty because there is an assessment that is going to be so individually driven that I'd rather not go there.
Totally.
So, but the fact that there is art in us is our greatest equity. I agree that is our beauty. Let me say that again. I'm really stepping in with the lines today.
I am so good for you.
You make me sound smarter. It's true. I said this to you the very first day that we met. You make me sound smarter. You make me want to say smarter things, actually, is more to the truth. Let me say that again. I'm already smart, but you make me want to say smarter things. So I appreciate that. That's a great gift. That's how you are in service to me. So thank you. So the last one, the struggle.
Okay.
Because we're not chasing the money,
Yes.
and because we're compelled to share our gifts, why are so many of us struggling? Well, obviously artists have to make ends meet, but what are we struggling for, really, is my question. Is it the validation from a record label that's going to take our songs, or a music supervisor that's going to put a song in a film or TV snippet?
Yeah.
Is it a publisher that's going to take on your literary works? Why are we struggling? In other words, can't I just enjoy the beauty of creation, the beauty of living in my bubble, the beauty of following my passion, the beauty of living my truth, the beauty of sharing my personal beauty? That's beauty used twice in one sentence, without the need of chasing the brass ring of validation from third parties who, for the most part, aren't even creatives.
Right.
They're number crunchers.
Yes.
Is this going to work with our budget? Does this serve
Is
the
this
mood
gonna
and the purpose?
sell?
Is this going to sell? Can we figure out a marketing campaign around this? And this is the voice they use too. What is my boss going to say if I make this decision? And it should be $25,000 to this project. And so here we are as creatives struggling to rise up the tiers, where at the top rung of the ladder somehow we are going to get validation from some sort of corporate number crunching entity to say your art is deserving of this. Isn't art just beautiful for art's sake? Why are we in the struggle, at least as North American creatives? What is your take on that?
Good God, man, that's a whole hour.
Is this a separate episode?
I think so. However,
The third S gets its own episode.
I'm thinking about, I can't think of that song. It's from Sunday in the Park with George. And there's a whole thing, artists are bizarre. Da, da. I like that. There's a whole thing on making art. And it's that whole argument. Like, what the hell are we doing this for anyway? And why are we plugged into a system trying to chase the money and blah, 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 right? I think that's a distraction. I think even entertaining that conversation is a distraction from being and doing what you're here to be and do. I don't prescribe to the belief that if you just do your passion and the money will come. I don't prescribe. I'm too smart for that, and I don't think I'm too cynical for that. I think I'm too smart for that.
You're too much of a capitalist?
Too much of a Gen Xer, maybe. Too much of a roll your sleeves up kind of girl. And I do, so I think it's a distraction.
Yes.
I think if you're going to make art and build your house there. And if you got to work something on the side to make your art, your allegiance is not to the dollar. Your allegiance is to the art. What do you have to do to keep making your art? If you've been entrusted with it,
Correct.
bloody well do it.
100%.
Do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you do. Correct. 100% correct, you said.
100% correct, because I've had a mistress to support my wife for years. My wife is the art, but my mistress has been a plan B that subsidizes the wife. And I completely agree. Because sometimes you have to make a sellout film to make the art films you want to make.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's a job.
Just ask George Clooney. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to make a very commercial friendly album to make the art albums you want to make. Just ask Kanye.
Yeah.
So at every level of being an artist, whether you're struggling in your own local community to grind your way to a better place, whatever that means to you, or whether you're in the media with a huge fan base, we are all trying to find, I think, that balance of what is meant for me to express, and what do I have to do to find a path to expressing it. And if I have to do something a little more commercial, or that may look different for every artist, but finding that balance is the trick, because you don't want to cheat what is your calling.
Yes.
And at every level, if you know Kanye and George Clooney are struggling with that balance, it's irrelevant if you're making $100 a week or $100,000 a week.
Yes.
The struggle is existent and prescient for everyone.
Yes.
Everyone who's an artist.
Yes.
So if you just simply give yourself the freedom and permission to not have the struggle be an entity of negativity in your life, but to be a catapult to beat the system at its own game. I remember many times I was teaching in a jazz program at a university, and I said I'm writing pop, and they all looked down at pop, like, oh, you're a pop writer.
Really?
I said, yeah, but I'm creating original things. You guys are just in a big cover band that's covering things that are 80 years old. Like, you're still covering Gershwin 80 years after Summertime was. What are you guys doing that's innovative and new? So please don't look down at pop writers. But as a pop writer struggling to place pop into mass media, I had this mistress of being a university professor to subsidize my recording studio time, my trips to LA and Nashville. So I put in time at the university doing cover tunes within a jazz program to subsidize my real love of being a pop writer. And so I know that balance all too well. And it was never about chasing the money. It was about chasing the funds that would fuel, the gasoline that would fuel my passion. And whether you do it soulfully, financially, logistically, I think as an artist, it's not, the struggle is the joy. Let's say you have a number one song. And then the number one song is number one for a week, and then it drops off, and you celebrate, and you go for a delicious meal and a glass of champagne, and then you go back on the grind. But it's the number one is the brief moment of, oh, this is what it feels like. Nobody's throwing me a parade. I thought there would be parade people and confetti, but no. It's just my own place of accomplishment in my head. And then you get back to, oh, I have to get another number one, et cetera, et cetera. And the magic is in the struggle. The struggle, for many people, I think, they see it as a pejorative. And it's somehow, for me, the struggle is completely innocuous. It's just absolutely part and parcel of what needs to happen, and I embrace it because the struggle makes the art better. It makes you better. So I think the third S is not a dragon that we need to slay. I think the third S is just, you want to have a good looking bicep, just do a couple of more reps in the gym. You got to hit the gym. It's not a struggle. It is the roadmap to a better looking bicep.
Yes. And I don't want to diminish the hard days.
Yes.
I don't want to diminish those because they're real. I don't want to diminish the shitty jobs or the whatever the thing is. What I do want to offer to this piece is what I really loved about what you said was sometimes you got to do this commercial thing, so you can do this art thing or whatever, but at least it's all in the same playground. What I do want to say to people, and I have a soapbox about this one, is stop trading. Stop trading this for that. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. It will cost you. And it will cost you decades. Because what you do in this 10 years sets up the next 10 years. And time is real.
It's like an RSP. It doesn't just set it up. It compounds a problem or it compounds a victory.
It does. Nurture the path you're on. Because whatever path you're on, if you're feeding it, that's what grows. So, okay, there's my little soapbox. Did you feel that? Like,
yeah, all of a sudden I feel like you're wearing 6-inch heels, but it's just your soapbox. You're very tall all of a sudden.
Just my soapbox. Yes.
It's a good soapbox.
And the other thought that I wanted to say was, okay, you're a dude, and I'm just gonna you're a dude, so you've got a bit of the hero's journey, right? The hero's journey is like the struggle's real, and there's something really wicked about that word, struggle. And I know we just show up and do the bicep, okay. And
I left my house with a lute and a harp, and I wandered around the countryside for a decade until I found my manhood. Yes.
Okay. Now there's a whole. Oh my gosh! Did your dog just fart? Did you fart?
By the way, we pride ourselves on not editing anything, so enjoy, viewer.
Yes, this is it.
There are no edits.
Yeah.
Angry Genius doesn't edit.
No. This is it. Okay.
Sorry, hero's journey. And I'm
Heroine's journey
Yes,
isn't as...
that is foul.
It's bad, right? I'm not talking about the heroine's journey. What I'm saying is that there's many journeys out there, and we have been prescribed this idea that the hero's... Okay, I'm the story geek for a second, okay? We've been prescribed that the hero's journey is the only journey. Okay, Indigenous people don't tell stories like that. They tell circular stories. The heroine's journey isn't all about, fighting and conquering. There are multiple stories. So even the word struggle is a choice to use that word. It could be, I did love what you said about just go to the damn gym and do the bicep. I think it's when I think about the experience of being an artist, it's, did you say this to me? No, somebody else said this to me. It's all in. It's all of it.
No plan B.
And and you're going to get whatever's coming. Sometimes there's a storm coming. Sometimes it's like this beautiful light on the ocean. But just go do it. It's who you are. It's who you are.
Just go be you.
Go be you.
You don't have a choice.
The world's waiting for it.
You know what? We don't have another thing to say. That's the perfect send-off. And after these messages, Kanye and Drake will be stopping in for those of you looking for stars that we interview. So tune in.